What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This week we got a cool video. This week we are revisiting old ideas, just like we did in the last painting with the geisha stormtrooper joint. So I wanted to revisit the domino. So the domino painting was like my second or third video that I ever did for the channel. So I wanted to see how the level up has happened in about a year and a half since I've been trying to take art a little more seriously. And I love the way it came back. We brought back some things that we did in the domino joint. Like, it wasn't as crazy as with the lights and stuff, but you know, I'm really proud of where we have came in such a short amount of time. I ain't gonna hold you guys up anymore. Let's get right in the video. Alright guys, so in this one I'd like to talk a little bit about Zazie Beetz. She's been a part of so many things that I've really enjoyed. Some of her projects have been so good, including Atlanta. That's where I really got to know her and recognize her as an actress. I love that show, and Donald Glover does such a good job with that show. My favorite episode is the Teddy Perkins episode. Yo, that was so weird. She had her own standalone episode too, the Champagne Poppy with the Drake, and then we got this coming from Deadpool 2. That was such a good movie. I loved her in Deadpool. I love the character for her. The Domino character was perfect. I really enjoyed the Domino character in the comics as well. She was also in a movie called Geostorm, which was really good. She was also the voice of Amber in the show Invincible. I love Invincible. If you haven't seen Invincible yet, I highly suggest going and checking out Invincible. Also, she was in Joker, and that kind of sets up the next painting video that I'm gonna do. They all kind of just go into each other. I love that Joker movie also, by the way. So after we got that initial layer of paint down, I was really happy with where it was at, but I wanted to really like enhance it. And this is around the time where I was up there like, I'm not gonna be taking commissions right now. I just want to work on what I want to work on. And this was also around the time where I decided to spend more time with my painting. So I let that dry for like a few days before I start getting into the next part. And you'll see that there's a lot of changes that happen from that initial first layer to where it goes. But having more time, I loved all the changes that were made. Alright guys, so a little bit about Domino the character. She was first introduced in the comic X-Force, and the writer Fabian Nicozai I just totally butchered his name. Horrible. But it was such a cool comic, and I'm glad that she ended up getting her own spin-off standalone comic. That's where you're actually seeing most of these comic book covers are from her own comic, as well as the X-Force comic. It was originally created in 1991. She was the result of a top secret government breeding program intended to develop the perfect weapon. Domino was the only test subject to survive, but her luck power was deemed a failure at meeting the project's goals. Her biological mother broke her out of a project and left her with her father. Domino stayed with the X-Force for most of its existence, becoming its de facto leader when Cable left the team. Alright, so after the like billionth layer on this thing, around the part where I'm like finishing doing like the hair, well, not finished, but working on the hair, I decided that the background didn't work. Like, I love the like light purple background, but it just really didn't complement the her skin tones and the way that the painting was looking. So I made an executive decision to go ahead and change the background towards the end of the painting, and I tell you, this was the best decision that I could have made, because this is when everything really started to come together. I came up with the idea of wanting to go ahead and use comic book strips again and get those in, kind of like we did with the old one. And I was just really happy with knowing that there was like a vision of where it's gonna go from here. And you'll see even later on in the glam footage, I went ham and did even more with the framework and whatnot. But yeah, around this part we're kind of just cleaning everything up and then getting ready to go in with the comic book strips and putting them on there. Thanks for coming out, and by the end of this we'll be wrapping this thing up. Alright, for this last little bit, I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit of like my process and not just the painting part. I think I'm somewhat of a craftsman as well as a painter, so I wanted to leave a little bit in there of that. Alright guys, and with that, that's going to be another video done. Love the way that this joint came out. I love that it's mine until somebody wants to buy it. Totally loved every bit of making this painting, revisiting old styles, and just the character in general is like one of my favorites. So I'm glad that I got to approach it with a different flavor, different style. And the next painting that you guys are gonna see is loosely connected to this painting. Yeah, the next painting, I think we're gonna get into the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and I'm looking at that joint right now, and it is super dope. I can't wait for you guys to see what I did with that. And then next we got some stuff. We got a character from that Netflix show Arcane. Oh man, that's a sweet show, and I love the character that I chose for that. We still got a painting of my baby. I'm looking at that right now. Just a little bit more, and that'll be done. And then we got you'll see. But trust me, this joint that I'm working on, it's gonna be good. Peace, love. I'll catch you guys in the next one for some more sweet stuff.